Let's go. Let me just grab a cup of water. Alright, hello Twitch and YouTube. Welcome, TimaeuSS here, and today we're gonna come at you with this brand new updated global launch Knights Chronicle reroll guide. So it includes how to reroll efficiently, either with an emulator or your phone, and then we're gonna look at how to get the first pulls and what units to look for. So obviously in the beginning you want to download the game from the Google Play or iOS store, and then launch it through your phone or your emulator. Right now I'm using Nox. I think Nox is fantastic for rerolling. I'll leave a link in the description on where to download Nox. It kind of show you how to run the emulator, and you can install it on PC or Mac, and just link up your Google Play Store, and then you can download it from the Casey app from the Google Play Store. Alright, so right off the bat, you'll get a intro scene, and it'll prompt a brief download. So I've already downloaded some of the files, and that's why it's not going to take a very long time to get this set up. So again, you run through the intro with the kind of introducing what the background of the world is like, and then we go to name creation. Sorry, the resolution is a bit low. I turned it down so that it could run the game a bit faster, but this is not how it looks like with good graphics. So yeah, you basically, you can skip all this part if you don't care about the story, or if you're re-rolling again, then yeah, just feel free to skip all this. You can skip the tutorial where you're fighting this big red monster. You'll meet him later on in the game, so don't worry, you're not missing too much. Okay, so I skipped the tutorial, and this is the first screen you see. Okay, I can't change the resolution right now, but you go into adventure first thing, and then you run through basically another guided tutorial where it tells you kind of how to fight, and how to use skills, how to use attacks, and the elemental advantages and disadvantages. So we'll just run through that really quickly. Again, you can skip all the cutscenes. Okay, so again, it's telling you how to use the skills, but we already know how to. Okay, I just wanted to turn the graphics up a bit because it was looking really ugly. So yeah, here you haven't unlocked auto yet, so you just want to spam your skills to quickly clear the mobs. So go through the dialogue, clickety-click. So here you can see grabbing all the goodies, and here is the 6-star Rebecca, and also the 200 gems. So just claim that real quick, and then you go to summon after that, and then you can summon from one of these, any one of these banners. So right now, okay, before we summon, we want to see what we are looking for. So in my previous video, we were not sure what was going to be released for global. We were thinking maybe global has a few days or weeks to catch up, or sorry, a few weeks or months to catch up to Japan, and we won't have all the good units, the ones that dominate arena. But turns out that we got them, and these are the 3 units that you can only get from polling, and those are super good in arena. So the first one we have is Kane. So Kane, he is a anti-heal unit. So in arena, there's going to be a lot of healers and revivers, and Kane disables that. Okay, so in a game that's dominated by healers, Kane, who can provide anti-heal and lots of counter attacks and the multi-attacks, he's going to be super good. Next up we have Ruby. Ruby is a fantastic unit. Ruby is almost a anti-Kane unit because her passive, one of her passive is 80% chance to remove defense and attack buffs at the start of the turn. Now it's kind of worded a bit awkwardly in global, but what it did in Japan was when it's Ruby's turn, she can kind of disable Kane's buff. And also Ruby has enemy buff purges, and she also has cooldown reduction, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so she has a cooldown reduction for her first skill, for her second skill, and she also has a passive that increases HP, so she heals when the cooldown is released. So she has some good sustain as well. So Ruby is the second unit if you're hardcore rerolling that you want to pull. And then the third unit is Rue. Rue is arguably one of the best healers in the game right now. Just the fact that, you know, her skill 2 heals for an ally and then gets rid of debuffs, as well as granting immunity to abnormal stats for 2 turns, along with her third skill, which can reset the revive ally's skill cooldown, revive an ally and heal for 40%, and turn comes quicker and increase attack by 25%. So she's all around just amazing with her heals and her revives, and her passive is really what's amazing. She can remove damage, immunity, and shields from all enemies at the start of the turn, which is really good against some specific units. And the fact that she can restore HP of the caster and the ally by 20%, the ally with the lowest HP by 20% when the caster tries to remove the enemy debuff. So she's super good, and these 3 are the units that you want to hardcore reroll for when you first start the game, if you're planning to reroll for the absolute best units. So again, Kane right here, Ruby right there, and then Rue. So now the next question is, which one should you pull? So the general consensus on the Discord server is to pull for the normal banners, because although normal banners have a lower rate for SSRs, you're more likely to get the SSRs you want technically, because the pool is less diluted. Personally, I think it's around the same. People pull from White Knights, they get a White Knight and a one of the 3 SSRs I talked about. So my friend, he pulled a Kane plus Ashley, and then one of our guildmates pulled a Ramu on top of Rue. So I guess it's personal preference, but if you want to reroll for the absolute best ones that you can get, then just go for, you know, Kane, Ruby, and Rue from the normal banners. Okay, so we have a question. Yeah, you don't have to reroll until you get all 3. I think that's insane. Just get one of them, I think, is good enough. I think if you get one, that would be really good, because then you get all the nice SSR tickets and the night tickets if you want to buy the beginner packs, and then you'll be good to go. So yeah, like I said, I'll pull from the normal banner. So you can see if it's going to be SSR or not just from this screen, right? So if it's yellow, it's not going to be SSR, and if it turns into a rainbow, that means it's an SSR. So here I didn't get anything. You can actually skip. I just misclicked. Yeah, so here you can see I didn't get any SSR. So that for me is probably a reroll. So I'm gonna reroll to at least go for an SSR or for one of the 3 units I mentioned, right? So, and here I want to kind of address a lot of people asking, oh, I pulled this SSR, I pulled that SSR, is it worth it? Personally, I think if you have time to spend on rerolling, I would get, you know, one of the 3 units I talked about, just because you want them anyways later on, right? So if you get them, you're good to go. So Kayn, Ruby, and Rue. So if you get them, you're good to go. But you know, if you're just someone who's casually playing and you don't mind what you get, Dark Knights, White Knights, they're decent. Plus the Rebecca that you'll get, they'll be fine for you to progress through the story. I know some people get super hung up on rerolling for the absolute perfect units, and then they reroll for 5-6 hours, and by the time they're ready to play, they lose their passion already, right? So if you think you're gonna be one of these people, then yeah. So like Claire said, if you look at the check-in rewards, so on the 7-day check-in, we already get an SSR ticket. So that you can get Mina, you can get Karen, and 2 other SSR units. And then for the 30-day check-in, if I can find where that is, let me find where. Yeah, I can't find it, but for the 28th day of your check-in to the game, you get an SSR select ticket, right? So you can pick any of the SSR knights. It's on the 7-day one. Oh, there we go. Yes, correct. Yep. So you get your SSR tickets, like Claire said, on your 7th day, 14th day, 21st day. So you don't need to reroll for Mina or Karen or anything, because most likely you can draw them from one of these tickets. And on the 28th day, you get a nice select ticket. So again, right, pretty much quote unquote free. So if you're hardcore on rerolling, just go for the 3 units that we mentioned. Just don't lose too much time, because ultimately the game's not just about rerolling, right? Okay, so now that we know what units to look for and the awards that we'll get from rerolling, I'll show you what is the quickest way to kind of do it, to kind of reset your account. Alright, so I go back to homepage, and this is what I see right now on my homepage. What you want to do is first open up your file manager. So again, this might look different for everyone, but in your file manager, there should be data or storage. So here for me it's storage. And then I go to emulated, and it's 0. And I go to Android, and then data. And here you can see a folder called com.netmarble.knightsgb. Okay, so what I do is I rename this. Okay, there's a way to rename it, but I'll show you what I did before. Okay, so what I do is I create a folder here. Okay, I'm gonna call it reroll, and I select this, and then I don't select this. I just go into the reroll folder, and I click move section here, move selection here. And I don't know why it bugs, but you can just click home, and then sorry, you have to open up Task Manager, close this. Okay, open up File Manager again, go to where you came from. Right, you can see the file is already in reroll, right? So it's in this folder right now, and then you go to Home, go to your Settings, go to Apps, you see Night Chronicle. So this thing should be only about 100 megabytes if you've done the steps correctly. Otherwise, it's going to be over 1 gigabyte. So if it's under 100 megabytes in total, just clear data. And then after you've cleared it, go back home. Open up File Manager and navigate to the folder. Click that and click the parent folder and then move section here. So it's back to where it belongs, right? So just wait for like 2-3 seconds and then you can close this thing again with a multitask. I don't know why it's kind of bugged for me. People don't have this constantly loading. And then when you open the game again, it'll pretty much have a new account for you. Okay, so you can see that it's trying to connect to my Google Play. So that was one of my dump accounts. Make sure I linked a dump account, just a random account, so that it doesn't sync to my main Google. But apparently there's some syncing issues. So what I would suggest to do is it's fine if you have a Google account, but when you find the account you want, bind it to your Facebook so it links with your cross-platform iOS, Android, or emulator. But yeah, so you can see I'm back at the tutorial. And once you kind of get used to how to move the file around, delete the stuff, and then move it back, it probably takes you less than 5 minutes, 5 minutes per reroll, because you don't have to re-download any files, and you just go straight through tutorial. So yeah, that's the guide on how to reroll fast on an emulator. On your phone, you kind of have to just delete and re-download. You can't really do anything about it. We also talked about the units you should look for. Again, Kane, Ruby, and Brew. These are the three, top PvP units that you can only get from polls. And yeah, that's it from me. I'll upload this on YouTube for all you Twitch people that came kind of late. And hope to catch you guys next time.